Good evening and welcome to the Bottom Line. News that you can use, news for your neighborhood. No, I'm not Nicole. I'm Charles Potter Jr. sitting in doing the opening for Nicole. And as she would say, from Wilmington throughout Newcastle County, news that everybody can use. Well, welcome tonight. We're going to have another great show for you, but I'm going to get started off with a little information, give you an update what took place down in the General Assembly. Then I'm going to do a couple interviews, and it's a lot happening tonight for you. As you know, I'm the state representative of the 1st Representative District. I represent that district first, but the whole state of Delaware. We closed out the General Assembly the other night after staying at least 11 straight hours. We got home about 7 o'clock in the morning. But I want to report to you that it was very exciting and a great year. We accomplished a lot. You all know about WEAC, the Wilmington Education Improvement Commission. I would have liked to see that commission passed in its complete form, but we didn't leave there with nothing. We did leave with the fact that the commission can continue to work on the redistricting of the education and school district for the city of Wilmington. In that particular plan, it also included new information, I'm going to say news, because I'm talking about news, information that would help poverty students throughout the whole state of Delaware. It did not include any property taxes for people in the red clay district, so I want to make that perfectly clear. In my opinion, there was no reason after 62 years of desegregation that the WEAC plan did not pass. I want to thank the Governor, Jack Merkel, for his support, the Speaker of the House, Speaker Swerkoff. It passed the House, so we did our job over the House of Representatives, but it did not pass the Senate. When it got into the Senate, we had 6 yea votes and 15 nay votes. There was no reason whatsoever, and I talked to the pro tem about why wasn't she willing to let that pass, and she didn't have no real good explanation. So I want to thank Tony Allen for his tremendous job as the chairperson, Megan for her help, and all the commission members and everybody who supported that initiative. Moving right along, we've also been working on the port expansion. So we had good news there. We did, the commission approved the River's Edge as one of the expansion options for the Port of Wilmington. Now, we get that port expanded, we're going to create over 10,000 jobs. And as you know, that whole Route 9 area is being rehabbed. You're going to have a library there, and you're going to have a lot of other amenities there, so there's going to be a lot of growth there. What took place down the General Assembly? Let me just give you an idea, a little bit of a few things that I believe we were able to accomplish. We were able to put money to continue to fund the Powell Center at 37th and Market Street. Also, the Powell's going to be getting a new marquee that's going to be coming soon, a new sign out front where they can advertise all the events going on inside the Powell Center. We were able to get money for the Senior Center on, I believe it's on 18th, around 18th and Market Street. We got money for Wilmington Optimist Little League. There have been vandalism there over and over again, so we secured money for the Wilmington Optimist League. We were able to get over $200,000 for the Banner Stadiums to be able to fix it because it had been condemned. As you know, Howard, Salesianum, and St. Elizabeth and other people use that stadium, so a lot is going on there. We moved $200,000 in for additional police initiative for police on foot patrol or bikes. And I can just go on and on. $100,000 for the Carmel Nickel. We put over $300,000 in the Boys and Girls Club, and a lot of money which we sent to the city of Wilmington, where the city can do some things as it relates to infrastructure. And at another time, I'll get more detailed on what happened down in Dover, but I just wanted to let you know I'm honored and pleased to serve you down in Dover. I'm your voice in Dover, and if you take a look at my Facebook, I keep you updated all the time. I think over the last 4 years, you probably had a better insight of what's taking place inside of the halls of the General Assembly. With that, I'm going to move right along and get into a little quick interview with a good friend of mine. I call him OP, and his real name is Oscar Patterson Oliver. Where'd you get Oliver from, man?
We keep saying Austin, though. We keep calling your brother name.
What?
You keep saying Austin. I'm Oliver, man.
Oliver.
Yeah, you keep saying Austin. I know why. I know why.
You know why.
I'm the original OP, though.
Oh, no. You done fake me out. No, you're good, man. This is my man. So what's going on, OP?
Oh, ain't nothing, man. You know, appreciate them trying to let me come on here to advertise what I'm going to bring to the city of Wilmington. Also, the Philadelphia got a lot of things coming up.
Right.
And just trying to keep the entertainment, keep people happy.
Well, I see right here you got a whole list, a whole lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one of the biggest producers in not only the state, but in the country. So tell me what you got going on right here.
Well, the Dell, we start July the 7th, is our first night. We're going to have Jaheim, Monica, and Life Jenny. The tickets are sold out, but Tuesday, since the seats are gone, we're going to open up the lawn seats.
Oh, lawn seats.
So starting this Tuesday, they can go there and get tickets for the lawn seats.
Okay.
And then July the 14th, we got Dennis Zerber, Temptation, Charlotte, Stylist, and New Birth. Then on July the 21st, Mary, Chrisette Michelle. And July 28th, Annie Irene, Will Downing, Kenny Lattimore. And August 4th, Dougie Fresh and Frankie Bubby and Mays. And August 11th, Dougie Fresh.
Some of the old hip hop.
Yeah. Then August 11th, Legacy, Keith Sweat and John B. And then August 14th is Lady B night out with Public Enemy, Sessa Sonic, Sam the Beast. Then we come back August 18th with Johnny Gill, Jodeci Avant. And then August 25th, we come with Morris Day, Sheila Ian Ward. It's going to be a tribute to Prince. That's Prince night. I'm going to do a tribute to Prince. And then August 27th, we closing the deal out, Patty Jackson night out. The Whispers, After 7, Harry Hoy, and Troop.
Too much to handle, too much. I tell you, man.
The Dell, you know, we always the Dell, you know what I mean? We all family. Last year we had a good year, so we're going to try to have another good summer. So.
What more can you ask for, man? You got Jodeci and Johnny Gill. I'm coming to that one, too.
Yeah.
Avant. And
don't wear your sunglasses.
Don't wear my sunglasses right now.
And then
why can't I wear my sunglasses?
Also, the city of Wilmington, we bring a nice thing here July 23rd, and it's free down Rodney Square. It's going to be Lakeside, the Rick James Band, Bloodstone, Breakwater.
Right.
Oh, man, it's going to be real nice, and it's free down Rodney Square.
Well, people need to know that you've been bringing all these events and people to the city of Wilmington, not anybody else. I just want to make it clear, but OP, you made it happen. I heard they had a good party night after one of the Jazz Fest that night.
It was so good, the block party, we went back the second night.
And did it again.
Yeah, did it again, was so good. It was very good, the City of Fest. And Clifton Brown, after Clifton Brown Jazz Fest was over with, Friday and Saturday, so we had the block party, everything down there.
Okay. Look, what I'm going to do at this time, if we can just show a few pictures of OP with some people in the back of me. I just want to hit this one song real quick, OP. See if you know who this is. You know.
Oh, that's Uncle Charlie.
That's Uncle
Charlie. Yeah, he did the Essence Award tonight. He's
at the Essence Award tonight?
He was there last night.
Okay.
Yeah, very good friend.
Now, if you look in the back of us, you'll see some pictures with people OP's been with. Right there, that's Glenn Jones, I believe.
Yes, Glenn Jones.
And OP.
That's Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker. Now that's Uncle Charlie right there, huh?
Yeah.
You know them all, don't you?
Yeah.
Now who's that?
That's Patty LaBelle.
Okay. Let's see, I know we got another one. Now that's your favorite person, is Patty.
Patty Jackson.
Patty.
Yeah, and Whispers, you know what I mean? Yeah, Patty Jackson and Whispers.
Well, you know what? I'm going to just take a little time out because you couldn't come down to Dover, so we're going to bring Dover to you. So I want you to stand up. Don't stand up and lose your mic, right? We're just going to ease up. That's what, we're going to come up slowly like he told us, right?
Yeah.
Just like that. So this right here is from the state of Delaware. As you know, I'm in the House of Representatives, and I want to read this to you, okay? Right. This is from the state of Delaware. This is House of Representatives tribute. Be it hereby known to all that the House of Representatives acknowledge Oliver. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Oliver Patterson. We recognize Mr. Patterson, owner of OP Productions, to thank him for the years of service he has provided to the city of Wilmington, and I should say state of Delaware. OP Productions is a booking agency which has been instrumental in bringing well-known artists to Wilmington to participate in the Clifford Brown Jazz Festival and the Wilmington City Fest. Artists include to perform to the Jazz Fest. Wilmington include Kim Waters, And for the upcoming Wilmington City Fest, include Lakeside, Rick James Band, Breakwater, Bloodstone, and Drew Hill. For over 30 years, I didn't know you were that old. How old are you?
31.
31, okay. OP Productions has been a mainstay in the music industry. Mr. Patterson was a former road manager for Billy Paul, singer of the classic song, Me and Mrs. Jones. I got my Mrs. Jones with me here tonight, but I changed her name to Potter.
Oh, okay.
Elder Potter, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I remember many times you were at the office, you would call Billy Paul and you let me talk to him, and he would talk to him, and I really appreciate that. Yeah. So I know you really miss Billy Paul.
Oh, yeah, I do miss him. You know what I mean? Because, like, when I called him, it happened, I was on a show.
Right.
And his wife called me.
Right.
And she said, OP, Billy gone. I said, going where? And she didn't want to tell me. I said, going where? I said, sometimes Billy would get the car in his lead, and I would have to go get Billy.
Right.
She said, I said, well, I'm on my way. She said, now I tell you, explain to what I'm trying to say.
Right.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He passed away. I'm like, wow. You know, I just talked to him. Every time I talk to him, he always say he loved me. You know what I mean? And I just talked to him last Friday, and he died out the Friday.
Right.
Yeah,
I know. That was one of your closest friends. And he's also brought comedy shows and live entertainment to Philadelphia, Atlantic City. We commend this outstanding individual for his remarkable contributions and accomplishments. The House of Representatives extends its sincere congratulations and directs this tribute to be issued to you. And is signed by the Speaker of the House, Peter Swarkoff, Rich Puffer, the clerk, and yours truly, your man, right? Your boy, right? Come on, give me some. Charles Potter Jr.
Charles Potter.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
I want everybody to see that. See that? That's right there for OP from the House of Representatives. And he really deserves it. He's been doing a great job for a long time. And I'm pleased to be able to honor you tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Thank
Appreciate
you.
It, man.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say tonight?
Oh, no, I just appreciate it, you know what I mean?
This is yours, man.
Thank you very much. I just appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we all got to come as one to try to make the city of Wilmington better. You know what I mean? With all the problems we got, we can't be hating on each other. We got to come as one to work together as a team. When we came up, we respect the neighborhood, so we had to show the young people that they need to respect the neighborhood. So we got to start talking to them, still the down to them. We got to talk to the young people. The young people need talking to them, God and love. You know what I mean?
That's why we got to bring the school district together, because when it's cutting the pies, they don't even know each other. So we bring it together. They get to know each other. The parents could get to the school and other things that happen. What we're going to do right now, we're going to go to right over to Studio B and to get a little news update from that man, Ty Johnson.
Bless the Lord, everybody everywhere, and we thank you so much for joining us, everybody in the high rise, everybody across the city, everybody across this county. OP, our friend, we thank you for your ministry. And look, this is a testimony to young people that you can be whatever you desire to be. The race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but to he or she that endureth to the end. And if I can speak for him, he'd say he had a lot of help. A lot of times he's gotten discouraged, but he didn't quit. In other words, it's all right to give up, give out, give in, but never give up. Give in, give out, but never give up. Congratulations to OP, and congratulations to all the people that have worked with him and continues to work with him to make it happen for our fair city. And isn't it funny how you be driving along, just chilling, and you're listening to the radio station, and then you hear that deep voice, and then all of a sudden, OP Production in Delaware. You be like, good God, I know that boy, I know that fella, OP. Thank you very much. And Earth, Wind, and Fire come here, I'm gonna be needing those tickets. All right, on to the news. Good God. Our man Ed is here tonight. He's got some hot news. Good God Almighty. I can't talk about it because Ed will get me. But Ed's coming with the news. But right now, I want you to think about what's been going on around the city. Congratulations to Big Key Booker and his wife and all those who put together the piece called The War Cry in the Brown Burton Winchester Park, formerly known as Prices. That's right, 26 in Pine. What a wonderful time. I saw more political signs out there, boy, I'm telling you. Keith had it going on. But most of all, I was most impressed by all the artists that came. I was impressed by Pastor AJ and Reed's Refuge Center. You might have saw a post that I put on with Fred Reed. who comes from Riverside. He owns Reed's Refuge Center, and one of his partners came up from the group For You. And we used to take them around over to Ferris. We used to take them over to the prisons, and they would sing, do the doo-wop. OP, you never got them on the show. You never got them on the show. My man Fred Reeves, For You. Some dynamite guys. We bless them, and we're going to be looking at them. Pastor Harding's got some serious stuff coming. He's got rap. He's got that talk, that motivational speaking. See how I'm putting them out there? Because yeah, you got to tell them. You got to keep them right in front of them because the boy big now. But you got to keep in front of them. Amen? Amen. Incidentally, congratulations to our one and only, our state rep, Charles Potter Jr. Yes, sir. Stan, I was down there. I went down there. You know, I don't normally go down there. I don't like the spirit down there sometimes. I'm not going to call them racist. I'm not going to do that. But I don't like that spirit sometimes. But in the midst of it all, he stood firm. He was steadfast. And I was crying for that boy. I said, oh, Lord, they're going to kill him up in here. But the boy stood fast. He was the representative par excellent. And he had the votes. He carried it in the House. I'm saying keep at it with the Wilmington Education Commission. I'm saying that victory is yours. Just don't give up. Don't give up, because a lot of us are still rooting for you. Congratulations for all that you do down in the House. And I found sometimes those folks are down there to 12 at night trying to get stuff going on. That's right, 12 o'clock at night when most of you all are sleeping. Incidentally, thank everybody for coming out to the Clarion supporting yours truly. That's right, about 40 people. I thought it'd be about 400. It was about 40, but we paid all the bills. We raised some money. You know, I can't lie. I said, you know, I'm not going to do that. Well, a lot of you all talking about, Ty, I want to be there, Ty, I want to be there. Look, you cannot take that attitude when September the 13th comes. If you're going to vote, you got to get out there. I don't mind you not coming to the Clarion. I don't mind you not showing up. But I got a trick for you now. When I see you, I got my phone. I got the little plug-in. You'll bring your card. I'm going to swipe you. Oh, yes, I am. I'm going to get that money so I can get them signs. Got a couple signs out. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Got them signs coming. Because we mean to get one of those seats. Wilmington City Council at Large. Incidentally, doing our work, we had the churches marching around in the mornings, and New Destiny Fellowship, Manna Christian Fellowship, marching and praying in the mornings from 6 to 6:30, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, also Thursdays and Mondays also. But they observed a break-in at Moriah Academy. We jumped right on it, the Partners for Peace. I called Pastor Curry, who is, incidentally, he is the chair of that board, and B.B. Coker, and we find out that Moriah Academy is now in receivership. We're going to get some cameras around that building because at one time, you know, some folks were taking the heating systems off the top of the roof. They hit the Browns Boys Club. They hit some other stuff. And now Reed's have cameras around his place, and he caught a pedophile breaking windows and hanging out with those children that he has. And he's been caught. Congratulations, Fred, for a good job. Incidentally, for those of you who got a lot going on this summer, I want you to stay safe. Those of you out there right now trying to send up firecrackers, don't do it. Don't do it. Yours truly, OP, you're going to like this, boy. You're going to like this. July 17th, this month, Andre Queen's in here, and they've asked me to be the host. And they got some temptations. It's not real temptations, y'all. It is the Temptations, not the review. It is the Motown Legends. That's right. Some of the boys coming, and they got a person's going to be doing Otis, and got a person's going to be doing Marvin Gaye. Good God! I get to act up. So if you're churchy, then you're going to have a problem. July 17th at P.S. DuPont, where the Dynamiters swing and do their thing. P.S. DuPont, July 17th. Incidentally, I got to cut it off. 16th. It's the 16th. July 16th. I made a mistake, y'all. July 16th. Good God Almighty. There goes my raise, my little contract. Good God. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray me, I'll blame it on the chemo. Going on back to Studio A. Bam!
Welcome back. You know, and that's why he's going to be in the apprenticeship program. We got to move him up at the right time.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now, before I go into my interview, well, we'll do this right now.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we got Andrea Queen of Dynamite, PS DuPont
right.
all the way, right?
That's right.
Nothing else, right?
Nothing else.
All
PS
the way,
DuPont,
Dynamite.
all the
We are
way.
family, right?
That's right.
Now, she's here to talk about the old school house party productions, and now she's going to get it right. Don't listen to Ty, y'all. Listen to Andrea Queen. She's going to get it right.
Right.
You know, it's going to be old school. So tell me what's going on July
Okay.
the 16th.
Okay, thanks. First, I want to thank you, Charles Potter, for inviting me on to tell you about this fabulous and upcoming event. It's July the 16th at PS DuPont Middle School from 7 to 11. We have the Temptations Motown Legends Review. Philip Joseph will be doing Otis Redding.
Uh-oh.
And we have someone from Brooklyn, New York, Bar Sheems doing Marvin Gaye.
Oh,
And
that got to be nice.
Oh, he's really nice. Bar Sheems is very seasoned. He's been on tour, had a spot in the Dreamgirls movie.
All right.
He's been actually hired by the Marvin Gaye family to do his 75th and 76th birthday
Is that right?
anniversary. Yes, because he can
He
really
must
do
be
some.
good.
Oh, yeah, he is. So we want to make sure that everybody knows and is reminded that tickets are for $30. Call soon to get reserved seats. They can be purchased online at Eventbrite. And we also have Mike Johnson down at Fat Cuts Barbershop. You can locate him.
Where's Fat Cuts at?
That's at 4 East 7th Street.
4 East 7th Street.
In Wilmington, Delaware.
Who's your MC? Tell me who the MC is.
All right. Or yours truly, Tyrone Johnson, Elder Tyrone Johnson. Oh, yeah, we looking forward to having him. It should be fun. So, yes, he is the host.
Okay.
And
all right.
again, you can call me. I'm Andrea Queen at 302-803-3400 or Mike Johnson at 302-685-5106.
We're going to put those numbers up, try to get them up. If not, but you also have Facebook where they can go to your Facebook to find this information.
You can go on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, Old School House Party Productions, also a like page. So make sure you can go on the Facebook app and you can find our videos of our previous events that we've held, but we certainly get some promos of this coming show. So just check us out and let us know how you like it. But again, try to get your tickets in soon. And call us again at those numbers that you'll see up on the screen.
So July 16th at PS DuPont, and it's from what time does the doors open?
The doors open at 6.
They open at 6, okay? And tickets are only $30.
$30, but if you go on Eventbrite, we have a special $25 for the convenience. So check out Eventbrite or call us for the reserved seats for $30.
Okay, we're going to end this segment right now with that. And we're going to jump right into sports to Ed Johnson, and he got some hot things going on. I don't want to steal his thunder, so take it away, Ed.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the sports segment of the show. Before I get to my top story, which is Kevin Durant, open with some sad news, as we lost two more great people in the sporting world. The first is Pat Summitt. She died last week. And she was a legendary coach of the Tennessee Vols, where I went to school at Tennessee State University, and she was there while I was there. And she had the most wins by any coach in NCAA college basketball history. She was Tennessee's Lady Vols head coach for 38 seasons, guided her Lady Vols to 8 NCAA titles and 1,098 wins, most wins by any coach, male or female, in history. And she coached from 1974 to 2012. Our condolences and prayers go out to her and the entire Tennessee family. Good luck to you guys. Our second loss was the legendary coach and former Eagles coach, Buddy Ryan. He coached the Eagles from 1986 to 1991, and he was the assistant coach of 2 Super Bowl winning teams. The first was the Joe Namath-led New York Jets in 1968. The second was the 1985 Chicago Bears. He later went on to coach the Arizona Cardinals, going 55-1, and he coached players such as Reggie White, Clyde Simmons, Jerome Brown, and Seth Joyner. And our prayers and condolences go out to him and his entire family, and he has 2 sons right now that's still coaching in the NFL. Moving on to tennis. Sam Querrey upset Novak Djokovic, which was the shocker of the week one. And the American player won the first 2 sets before rain halted the match that was last Friday. Querrey fired 15 aces in the 4th set for the stunning upset. And on the women's side, both the Williams sisters advanced today to reach the quarterfinals. Good luck both to Venus and Serena, as we hope one of them will win it all. And Serena looked real good as she put up a goose egg in the final set. She won the straight sets today, and the girl didn't win a game in the 2nd set. So she looked very, very good. Congratulations, and we hope Serena goes on to win her 22nd major title. To the Olympics. Michael Phelps won the final race of the Olympic trials and will now have a chance to win his 4th straight 100-meter butterfly gold medal. Phelps is the most decorated Olympian of all time. And in other Olympic news, sprinter Tyson Gay is hoping to claim an Olympic medal at least one of the 2 events of the 100-meter and the 200-meter race. In local news, Middletown Marcus Dendy is trying or hoping to compete in the long jump at the Olympics. He's from Middletown. Good luck to Mr. Dendy. Hope you make it, my man. Baseball. The hottest team in baseball was the Cleveland Indians, who had won 14 straight games in a row until they lost. I think they lost Sunday night. They lost 2 in a row. But with the season halfway over, and it looks like whoever's coming down the stretch, whoever gets hot coming down the stretch is going to win that. And it's a long season, and we're halfway through. The Phillies are now winning again. No telling what they're going to do. Okay, in standings in baseball, American League East, Baltimore is still leading by 3 games over Boston at 47-34. Central, Cleveland got 49 wins and 32 losses. Texas has 52 wins and 31 losses. And in the National League, Washington is leading that division in the East, 50-33. Chicago is 51-30. They once had the best record in baseball. Now it's the Texas Rangers. San Francisco is leading their division in the West at 52-32. Seems like both Chicago teams were leading in their respective divisions at one time, and they thought they was going to have an all Chicago World Series, but baseball's a long season, no telling what's going to happen with that, and they're coming down the stretch, who knows. Okay, the biggest story by far, the Golden State Warriors have claimed Oklahoma City Thunder Kevin Durant. That is big news. With the firepower they now have, they're going to be tough, real tough to beat. I still thought that they got cheated out of the last championship. Charles won a little bit of money off me, but I'm going to get my money back next year. All right, in closing, I want to say Serena Williams won her 300th career Grand Slam match, surpassing Chris Everett Lloyd for 2nd place all time on the list. She trails only Martina Navratilova, who has 306 wins in Grand Slam tournament play. And also, I want to close by saying Dustin Johnson rallied at Firestone to win his 2nd title and his mini tournaments. The guy is hot. He's winning. And let's turn it back over to Studio A. Oh, we're going to a short break. Take care.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does their star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the
did it. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was awesome. Amazing.
Welcome to this Independence Day edition of the Bottom Line. Wow, just the goosebumps that seem to be going through my body listening to the Star Spangled Banner song. Just a small comment. A lot of times people think that the African American population in this country is not patriotic. It's just not true. We love this country. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. A lot of times, you know, we talk about slavery and how we got to America, but I often think that it was God's will, that how we got here was insignificant of the impact that we have in this country. And it's fitting today that on this Independence Day edition of the Bottom Line, that we sometimes have a candidate or a person of interest here that is synonymous with the name of the show, the Bottom Line. And normally when we talk about the bottom line, most of us realize that that bottom line sometimes means our resources. In the city of Wilmington, it's been a great treasure for years, a man by the name of Henry W. Suspensky. Mr. Suspensky was the treasurer for a long time in the city, done a wonderful job. He has retired and has vacated the office. A lot of you don't know it's an elected position, but we're happy to have, a lot of times we heard that Ed Johnson just talked about this star-studded lineup, the Golden State Warriors. They got the best free agent available by the person of Kevin Durant. Well, we like to think that we have the best free agent available to take over the city of Wilmington's treasurer position in the person of Velda Jones Potter. Mrs. Potter has just been brilliant. She's bailed out half of the corporations in the city, including the city itself. And we're going to have a chance to talk with her. I'm going to be a co-host for this segment along with Elder Ty Johnson, but I want to turn my focus to Velda Potter. Good evening and welcome to the Bottom Line, this Independence Day edition. We're happy to have you on a day where we recognize the greatness of this country. We got a lot of people in this city that know your great work in terms of finances and restructuring economics. But we got a lot of new voters that were 16 years old the last election and they're under 20. And we're just going to give you a chance to kind of introduce yourself, let folk know what you've been doing. I'm kind of honored and humbled to be in your presence. So why don't you just talk to our viewers here at the Bottom Line and give them a little insight on Velda Potter.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me on this evening. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited about my campaign and my candidacy for city treasurer. I'm a native of Wilmington, so for those young people, and maybe some not so young, who don't know who I am, I'm homegrown. I grew up in Riverside, better known as
my hometown,
right?
East Lake Estates.
East Lake Estates. I attended what at the time was Northeast Elementary School, and then attended P.S. DuPont and graduated P.S. DuPont High School. So a dynamiter.
Bless you. Yes, bless you.
And then I had the great pleasure of going on to the University of Delaware, received my degree there in engineering, was a part of the FAME program, really a part of the very first class to attend FAME.
It's awesome.
Which is the Forum to Advance Minorities in Engineering. I met later, became my husband Charles in school at
Well,
PS.
you can't win all of them, but I'm just I had to get that in.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say this from onset, looking on, you're a wonderful mother, a wonderful wife, and I think a lot of times that goes unsaid. And I think for today, being what it is, Wilmington being somewhat 80-something% raised by single mothers, you stayed with your marriage. You stayed to raise your children. Not that there was anything wrong, but it speaks volumes. And not only did you do that role well, from what I can tell, but you also took the career path. and you became a pinnacle. You became a zenith for African American women and women all across this state and this country. Thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, obviously my family is an immensely important part of my life. I mean, there's nothing on this earth that's more important to me than that. We have two young men, Chaz and Brandon, and we're very proud of both of them. And I've been blessed with a great husband and a wonderful family. And my extended family, my mother and my sisters and my brother here as well.
And
So-
all those women that love you. Don't
yeah,
leave them out. 'Cause
that's right.
You can't show up nowhere without go around that. So I'm glad you're running.
Yeah.
So
Well, Wilmington is home for me, and it means a lot to me.
yes, ma'am.
And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
How did you get involved? Because I first met, I heard about your economic, you was at MBNA, where my wife was employed, and but my wife said that especially the African American women found that you were so approachable. Your personality went. A lot of times in corporate America, people that reach certain levels of corporations, they're not available, but you were so available. And then your skill sets, and it said something. And you opened up and said that you came from the public housing, where I was born at. And what it shows is not necessarily where you start, but with hard work and determination, you can be successful. So I want to fast forward a little bit to your professional life, and what are the things you've done that have prepared you for this moment in time in Wilmington history?
Well, my work with DuPont, I spent 17 years as a DuPonter in finance and business roles there, executive level roles. I had an opportunity during that time for an executive loan arrangement with the city of Wilmington when Mayor Sills was here.
remember that.
And he asked me to come on board as his director of finance. The city had experienced 6 consecutive years of deficits.
We were in trouble.
Yeah, things were not looking good. And I had the opportunity to come in to work with the people in the finance department and throughout the city. And in the year and a half that I was there, we set a goal to create for the city a surplus, even if it was just $1. And we really meant that. It was a matter of turning the corner. And so that's what we did. We worked throughout the departments, major collection initiatives and cost savings efforts. And the city ended up with a $5.1 million surplus.
Wow, that's a considerable lot more than $1.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I hear? You know what I hear, Reverend Brown? I hear she brought vision. First of all, she said she didn't say no, because she could have easily have said, I don't want to do that. Who needs that headache? But she brought vision. She brought leadership to the office, and she brought organization. And a lot of folks find it difficult to work with other folks. I find a lot of folks who are extraordinarily gifted have a hard time working with other people. And that wasn't the case with you.
No, in fact, the contrary. I felt so at home at the city when I came that, frankly, it became a challenge to go back to DuPont. DuPont is a wonderful company and gave me a tremendous opportunity. And I love the company for what it did for me and my family. But after working within the city and having an opportunity to use my financial skills and my business skills and my leadership skills to create outcomes that benefit people, that had an impact on the lives of people, it just changed my outlook. And I just wasn't as motivated by the bottom line corporate effect anymore. I really felt my mission in life was to have an impact in a way that affected people's lives.
Okay, politics come into play, in my opinion. The former treasurer, now Governor Jack Markell, wins an election. He's in the governor's office, and there's a vacancy. We hear that he calls you. Become the first African American to hold the office of state treasurer. How did that impact you, and how does that skill transfer to the Wilmington City Treasurer?
Well, yeah, that was my second call to serve, as I refer to it. And I served as state treasurer, and the role of state treasurer parallels that of the city treasurer, multiples of almost 100 though, in terms of the dollars that you're dealing with and the magnitude of the impact, because it's a statewide office. But the office of the city treasurer and the office of the state treasurer have quite a bit in common. The responsibility of the treasurer is essentially the banker for the municipality, in this case for the city. So if you can imagine what your personal banker would do, would handle your cash, make sure that your money on hand is available when your bills are come due. So when the city's bills have to be paid, when payroll has to be met, the treasurer ensures that cash is available in the bank to do that. That in the meantime, monies that are collected for taxes and fees are invested on behalf of the citizens, first and foremost safely, but secondarily in a way that allows some return, because we all want our money to be working for us. The treasurer is responsible for managing the city's debt. So as we do at home, we borrow to make major expenses and major cost purchases. And so the same thing is the case for the city. When we have capital investments that have to be made to fix our roads, our sewers, other major items of that nature, we have to issue bonds and otherwise acquire capital through debt financing. And so as treasurer, I would be responsible, and as the state treasurer was responsible for managing the city's debt and issuing bonds.
But see, Velda, you say these things and they just roll off your tongue because they're in your mind, they're in your spirit, they're part of your continent. But in reality, you're well credentialed. Am I saying that right, dear Reverend?
Yes, sir.
You're well credentialed. You have a master's.
I have a master's in finance.
A master's in finance. And you also have applied certain, I heard you throw a term out there, you want to measure what you do. You want to measure the impact of the office. And very few people understand what that means. And then you talked about, there's a biblical story, I don't know, in the book. And it talks about Jesus giving some talents to someone, and they didn't actually invest them to make more. The one hid it and sat on it. But I heard you say that this job, one of the jobs of the city treasurer is to invest that money wisely with integrity so that it makes money.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's an important role of the treasurer, and it's the kind of role that if you don't have experience in finance, if you haven't performed some of the functions, managing the pension plan, for example, is one of those.
Does that get tricky, or does?
Well, the city has 8 different pension funds.
Okay.
8 separate funds, services 2,200 pensioners.
That's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people who rely on their check every month to
You
come.
could be upset something wrong, and then
Yes, so it's
I
a
think that's where-
serious, it's a serious,
I
serious
think that's
matter.
something that we see in elected office, and I think sometimes we don't realize the impact of improper management in those areas. We're not trying to scare people, but we do. I like sometimes for people, even sometimes I tell my grandchildren that, if you don't do certain things, there's certain reactions to those things. So can you give us the other side of if these accounts are not managed properly, that what could be the impact of those things?
Well, there's a great deal at risk if things are not managed well in the treasurer's office. On an individual basis, particularly for those people who depend on payroll checks, on pension checks, if they are not timely, if they are not funded, those people aren't paid. And so the personal impact on them is felt immediately.
So in other words, Leroy, Shamu, Shamika, all of them going to be up at that city county bill with whatever they got.
Absolutely.
And Bill, Bob, and the rest of them.
Yes.
It's not a black thing.
Right.
It's a people thing.
Yes, yes, it is. And another example would be, you know, much like we in our own lives have a FICO score or credit score, we try to pay our bills on time and do all the things to keep a healthy
How does that
financial
impact us?
record.
When you're paying that, does the score go up and people look at us nationally? And does
Well,
that attract corporate folks?
Absolutely. As a municipality, we have what's called a bond rating, for
Okay.
example.
Right.
And the rating agencies look at what our financial health looks like,
Gotcha.
looks at, frankly, who's in the treasurer's seat and who's managing the city's finances, because that gives them a certain level of comfort. And they look at that when they evaluate what our rating is going to be. And that rating determines, the parallel in our personal lives is the interest rate at which we can borrow money. And so we know the difference between what a 2% interest rate to borrow or a 22% interest rate to borrow means in our personal lives. So you multiply that times a $32 million issuance of bonds, and a single difference in the interest rate can make multi-million-dollar difference to our taxpayers.
And then we're end up with the bill.
With the bill.
Or we could end up what you did before, a surplus.
Yes.
And then we're able to do some other things. This is wonderful. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Velda Potter, candidate for city treasurer, on this Independence Day edition of the Bottom Line. I'm hoping that you're grasping some of the concepts. A lot of times we don't look at the office as for what it is. It's a very meticulous job. It requires not just popularity, but certain skill sets in order to manage it properly. I want to just go back and just talk a little bit about, we know the long term of Henry Suspensky. I think we all felt some kind of way. You brought up something I think a lot of us didn't realize. You said that sometimes these board ratings look at the person in the office gives them a sense of comfort. Can you maybe just underscore that, highlight that just a little bit more, how important it is for the person in office to be one that they can depend upon?
Yes, I can, and I can frankly speak to it from very firsthand experience. When I was at the city working as Director of Finance with Mayor Sills' administration, I was a part of the process that the city goes through to present to the rating agencies, to essentially make your case for what your bond rating should be. That process is led by the city treasurer. So at the time, Henry Suspensky, who was there then, led that process. And as Director of Finance, I was an integral part of it. And so I got to see the interaction between, and be involved in the interaction between the rating agency representatives from Wall Street. And I helped put together the presentation, which is basically the story around where our financial position was at that time, what our financial future was going to look like based on our financial plans, and how the rating agencies interacted with the treasurer, who at the time had a very strong background in business and law. And so I believe my background in finance and as former state treasurer and as former Director of Finance for the city and as a corporate executive with DuPont and MBNA is one that will give very great confidence to those rating agencies as they begin to look at the city's financial position.
You not only have credentials, but you have experiential knowledge. You have the experience to lead us into this cyber age and about this cyber age. I think it's important that we tell folks we cannot take it for granted. September the 13th, folks have to get out and vote for Velda Potter.
Yes, I was looking at today's paper, and it brought up that there's a number of independents and Republicans that have changed their party affiliation, not just to vote for the governor, but they're concerned about the treasurer's office. I know you're a lifelong Democrat. Most of my friends are Democrats. I just happen to be on the other side of the aisle, but I'm
We
supporting.
never held that against you.
No, thank you. And likewise. And I just, you know, I talk with a lot of my Republican friends, and they think quite a bit of you and your ability to govern. And a lot of them has not only come over to have an impact in the mayoral election, but an impact in the treasurer's office. Because let's face it, whether we got $100 or $1 million invested, everybody wants to look at that. Would you just speak to not only the Democrats but the Republicans about what a Velda Potter in the city treasurer office would look like, and how they can feel confident?
Well, they can feel confident that their funds will be well protected. They can feel confident that they would be in the hands of a tried and proven financial professional.
I like that.
That someone who, you know, not only understands and has experience in handling money at this level and in the functions of a city treasurer, but also, and I think it's very important, someone who cares a great deal about how this role can work with the administration to affect the growth and the future of the city.
Okay. I want to just say this, ladies and gentlemen, in closing. I want to just say that we're just fortunate to have Velda Potter along with others to be in this race here. But I want to just say that in closing, Elder Ty brought up something, a biblical scripture, and I would be remiss as a minister if I didn't just say that in coming here, my mind took me to a time when great female leadership in God's kingdom, a lady named Esther, had to deal with the issue of saving her people from disaster. And her uncle, who adopted her, Mordecai, asked her, said, "Esther, how do you know that God didn't place you here for such a time as this?" So we want to say that if I was Esther, if you was Esther, that we believe that you've been placed in this particular time as this, with Henry Sapinski going out, the city's finances need to be shored up. And I want to let you know, from just as a citizen, not as a Republican, not as a supporter, but just as a citizen, that I appreciate you taking the challenge to make sure that you can stabilize their city, and that we're going to be out campaigning for you as all we can to see that you're elected our next city treasurer. I want to thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so
Bottom
much.
Line,
Appreciate
and hope
your
to see you
support.
in the future.
Okay,
All
thank
righty.
you.
Well, and that's the bottom line. You know, I need to mention to the citizens right around Governor Prince that I did talk to Del Dot, and they will be paving that road sooner than later. So that road's going to get paved from 30th Street all the way up to the Merchandise Mart. And Ed, it's just been a great day. And I don't get a lot to say, but you know I endorse Velda Jones Potter, my wife, for the treasurer, and she'll do a great job. So
Yeah, I think she'll do a fantastic job, because she's the only candidate I believe in the race that's got the experience, the background, and the knowledge to do a good job in this field. And I believe she will carry us to the next level.
Well, look, our fundraiser is this Saturday coming up. It's going to be July the 9th. I know that it's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., so tickets are only $25. Come out and show your support, show your love for Velda Jones Potter, the next city treasurer. Thank you.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.